Welcome back to Ashley Plans and Saves. I'm Ashley, and today I want to go over with you my January budget so far, sort of a check-in of the first week of my paycheck for January. So my paycheck from January 10th, the first paycheck I received in 2019, um, it has been an interesting last 8 or so days, and I just wanted to check in with you. Even though I did say I was going to come back for my second check on the 24th, I just had so many things happen in the last 8 days that for my own sanity, I would like to go over all those things now so that on the 24th, we can just jump right into what's happening with that check too. All right, so let's get started, guys. Is my January budget that I showed you guys last week. I just moved it into a new sheet so we can focus in on it. Um, let's go over the changes. The teal cells are where I made some changes or things that have changed since our last discussion about this. Starting at the top, I actually did have some rollover, some income that I was able to transfer into my account, and that came from Venmo. My roommate had sent me her portion of the internet for December, and it was still in my Venmo. Plus, later on, you'll see we ordered some food together, and then she transferred me her portion of that cost. And then I ended up just transferring that money into my debit account just because, as you can see, things looked a little bit tight because of some unexpected debits from my checking account. So let's go look closely at that. If I can go down, there we go. So yeah, income stayed the same. I still made my rent and my Roth IRA transfers. Con Ed, that sad thing is still there. My Spotify finally came out for $5. And down here, my fixed expenses. This was an unexpected change. So my credit card, that was a $3 fee. I believe they call it like a what's it called? It's like a secured credit card or a secured credit line where you have to put up money as sort of like collateral to get that amount as a limit on your credit card. So this credit card here was a PNC secured credit card I got maybe 6 years ago in 2012. It was my first credit card, and I had to pay $3 a month as a fee for that, and the limit was only about 250 bucks. So what ended up happening with this is that I typically send my phone, Netflix, and that credit card fee to get paid through this credit card. So that's $50.99 every month. I had it on automatic transfer from my checking account to pay off that credit card, but I forgot that I had already made like an earlier payment at the very beginning of January. When I created my January budget, I wanted to make sure my accounts were completely up to date and paid off. My checking accounts would be nicely at zero so that I can see how my budgets for January, my budgets for 2019 really affected, my savings and what's in my accounts and all that stuff. So I had already made the payment, but it was also still scheduled to go out on January 17th. So on Friday, when I looked at my account, I realized they had taken this out, even though my credit card had a zero balance. So right now I have a credit of $50.99. Um, excuse me. That money was supposed to go somewhere else, so that was an issue. I tried calling the credit card company, and one, they said they couldn't do anything until the payment had actually cleared in the credit card. So hopefully by Tuesday it'll actually clear. But um, they also said they wouldn't be able to send it back to my debit card. My debit card, they would have to just mail me the difference. So they would have to mail me a check for $50.99. So that will take a few days, or maybe even more than a week or two, to get that money back. So I'd put it in my budget as like obviously a net loss of $50.99. And then actually a few hours after I talked to them about that, I just called back and canceled the card completely. Like I said, it was a secured card, and it only had a limit of $250. And to get a higher limit, I would have to put more money down. Um, so I just didn't see the point of it. There's no rewards, so the fact that I had an annual fee was also just a bit ridiculous to me. It was my oldest line of credit, but with how long your good credit history stays on your credit reports, I wasn't that worried about it because, in 8 to 10 years, when it finally gets off of my credit report, by then I'll have 8 to 10 more years of credit built up. So I don't think it really affected me too much. So I just went ahead and canceled it. So not only do I get this $50.99 back, I'll actually get a check for $250 back because that was how much I put down a few years ago when I opened up that secured credit line. So hopefully in a couple weeks I'll get a nice little check for $250, and that'll beef up whatever budget I have going on for that specific month. Another thing, this is for my check too, just to quickly say that. So I have here my gym membership. I forgot that the $50 like annual fee would be taken out in January. So that'll come out for my second check. So it'll be the $50 for the fee plus the $15.50 or so cents for the monthly cost for the gym. So that will be taken out in my check too. I had to adjust the budget a little bit. Down here, my Netflix amount is also changing. Right now I have my own Netflix account with one screen. That's the membership tier I'm on. However, they are raising the price. If you haven't heard, so me and my roommate plan to just get a membership for 2 screens together. So we'll split the cost, and that means that my portion will only be $6.50. So I saved about $1.50 just by switching up my Netflix. And going down here to my spending to see what's up. Here, the only thing that changed really is the amount of money I had on Chase. If you recall, I had about $50 that was going to end up in my Chase account with the way I split up my paychecks. However, since I had that unexpected $50 cost in my PNC card, I had to transfer over $50 to my PNC debit card just to make sure I would have enough still in my checking account, so that I ended up not keeping this in the Chase, so I transferred it over. Excuse me. My 2-week grocery budget, $130. I'm actually under by $27. I have already gone grocery shopping for these past 2 weeks. And really, I changed up my meal plan for week 2 just because I noticed that I was already over so much for my miscellaneous and eating out budget. If you recall, this includes like $12. You maybe see a little bit up here. $12 that I bought for my friend's gift, $20 that I spent when I went out to get some drinks and some food with my friends, and then this is the $21 that me and my roommate bought some food together. But as I showed you with the rollover income, she actually paid me back a little bit of this, but I still kept it as part of this budget because it's what came out of my account. So $53, which means I was $33 over for this 2-week budget. So that's why I spent a little bit less grocery shopping. So now it's only about a net of a $5 difference or so, which I'm okay with. And then yeah, there's no cash on hand in Chase, so that's a positive $50. Yeah, for my clothing sinking fund, so I budgeted $120 for all the things I had bought. That was the cost of all 3 orders that I made. However, one of the items ended up being not in stock anymore, so whatever that store that I bought it from decreased the total price a little bit, and that meant I spent actually $4.62 less than I planned to. So with the actual spending here, it's the same as with the actual spending here, it's the same as what the over and under expenses were. So going into my check 2 by January 23rd, I should have $43.26 still in my checking account. So that's why if you go up, look at check 2, that's the rollover I have here going into check 2. So that'll really help out with that extra $50 that I forgot I had to pay for my gym, and then the less of $1.50 for my Netflix. Another change I made was to decrease how much I was putting in my travel fund. I did the calculations again, and I was like, I don't really need $130 every month. $100 should be fine. $1,200 over the year, I think that's more than enough for traveling, because I only really have 2, maybe 3 trips planned for this year, so I think that should cover it. Another thing I changed was the miscellaneous eating out. Usually I had it at $20, but I did go back and change it for my next 2 weeks because my friend is visiting from Philly. She's staying over for the weekend, the weekend after I get this check. So I did want a little bit of extra cash in there if we decided to eat out or go grocery shopping for specific things we want to make together. So I did bump that up. So with everything, I should have about 75 cents left over. So we'll see how that 75 cents goes. And quickly down here, if you noticed, these are my actual January checks. right? So that 1407 is my base pay, but I do work in my schools after school, and I get paid additionally for the hours that I work for that. So what I actually took home was 1514. But whatever I make in my after school, I'm putting that into a moving sinking fund. My roommate and I plan to move at the end of 2019, so I want to save up a little bit each month so that I'm ready with first months and last month's deposit or moving fees or anything like that. So I figured that I'd take whatever money I make in the after school program and put it towards that sinking fund. So I took home 1514, and here, if you can see just a little bit, I subtracted 1514 minus 1407. 1407 is my base pay, and that means I had $107 about left over. So I put $107 about in my sinking fund for moving. And I plan to do the same thing for my check on the 24th. So that's how my budget is looking so far. I am thinking of moving into like an EveryDollar app, or the EveryDollar like budgeting tool, the website or the app, just because yeah, I don't know, I've been watching a lot of videos of other people doing their budgets, and that just the layout of it seems like it'd be much more accommodating for the things I'm trying to do, because it looked crazy before and it looks crazy now, and I don't know if I like it that much. Just because, in 3 or 4 months time, I don't think I'm gonna remember that, these were the $12 was for a gift, and the 20 was for going out to get drinks, and 21 was for like eating at home and takeout and stuff like that. So I'm considering getting an EveryDollar budget, but we'll see what I do. I may just take a look, put in some numbers, and see how I like it, and I may feature that if I do end up liking it when I do my when I do my check 2 budget review on the 24th. So I still plan to do that budget review, because by then a few of these will be taken out, so we can see how the money is going. Also, I will have gone grocery shopping, so I can get a sense of that. Alright, so definitely tune in next week on January 24th so you can see how things are shaping up for me and whether or not I actually decide to stick on with EveryDollar moving forward. It would be in addition to this, because I did plan to use this for at least 3 months, so I am going to do that as well. But I think it'll be a nice way for me to see maybe a different visual of how my money is going. So I'll see you guys next week with those 2 updates. Bye, guys.